In this video, we're going to have a look at how you can work with Affinity Publisher. And Affinity Publisher is, can present a challenge to a document management system because it has links to other files, and the ability to follow those links and so on can be a bit of an issue. But Excitech DOCS and its underlying document management system, M-Files, doesn't really struggle with that. You will need to check things out manually yourself, but that's no hardship, and I'm going to show you how that works. So I've got a project here. I've called it Affinity Test Project. I've organized the data into some logical areas. So I've got a place where I'm storing all of the digital photos for this project, and here they are here. If I click on an image, let's have a look at this one, and we have a look at the preview. It's a sample of some concrete. Here's a room there, and so on. We'll come back up one level, and I've got an Affinity Publisher file in the report section here that I'd like to work on. Now, previously I have set this up so that this particular file has a broken link to, in fact, that very image that we were just looking at there. So if I double click on this file to open it up in Affinity, here we are, we want to check that out. So checking it out makes it editable to me. I get a little green tick here. I'm running a trial version of Affinity, so I've just got to pick on that. We'll just let Affinity open that particular publisher file. And it's going to complain because it will find, as you can see here, one of the resources is missing. So let's go into the resource manager to go and have a look at which particular image it can't find. So we can see here, it's that one we were looking at earlier, that 331, DSC 331. It's missing. It's and just click on here, it's that one there. And you can see that it's clouded out here. It's just a thumbnail. It's not a sharp image. So we want to change the reference. So what I can do is pick replace, and we're going to replace it with the one inside the document management system. So it shows me all of these down here. You can see the path that we've got through to where the photos are. I can pick a 331 and pick open. It's going to establish that link. There we are. Okay, you can see it's nice and crisp, the image now, and we can pick close, and I'll pick file and save. So that's all fine, and I could in fact go and check that back in. I'm going to leave that open for a moment because we're going to try something else. In fact, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll close this there. We'll leave Affinity open. Let's do that instead. So I'll now go in and have a look at the images. And let's imagine that you want to go and change the image. Will it maintain those links? How are those links going to work? So here's the image we were looking at earlier. Just have a look at that. That's that one there. So I'm going to right click on this one and say I'd like to check this out. And then I'm going to double click on it just to bring it up into the Microsoft Photo tool here. So I'm going to edit it, pick edit there, go for a filter. We'll apply this sort of goldish color filter, and then I'll save that. So that will save back into the document management system with that sort of goldish filter on it, and we'll check that back in. So I'm going to right click and check that in. So that is now the new version of this particular image. Let's pop back into the Affinity publisher file now. So if I go back into my report, and it's still checked out, so we've not checked it back in, but we'll open it up again into Affinity. And initially Affinity will show it again with this blur because it's detected that there's something different. And if we go to this document and resource manager view, it's showing me that that one has been modified. And do I want to accept the changes? So I'll say yes, I'd like to update that. And there we are, we've got our gold finish one. So I can then pick close here. I'm going to file and save that. That's now saved. We'll close the Affinity Publisher, If I right click on here now, I can then check this in, and that document has now incorporated those changes. If we right click at any time, we can see a history of edits that have happened to that, and we can always wind back to an earlier version of that, and that'd be true for anything there.